Hey Locker Nation, this is Dr. Josh Hand, and you're listening to episode 3 of Lifestyle Locker Radio with Dr. Jason Richardson. Prepare to have fun, to learn, and be inspired so you can unleash your human potential. Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Hand, and welcome to the Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we dive into what makes an awesome lifestyle. From relationships to money mindset, nutrition to fitness, emotional health to peak performance, we bring you on an amazing journey to unleashing your human potential. Hello, I'm Dr. Josh Hand. You're listening to Lifestyle Locker Radio. It's here where we want listeners to figure out how to unleash their human potential. Today, we're grateful to have Dr. Jason Richardson joining us on our mission to help our listeners create a lifestyle worth living. We know lifestyle consists of many things, and the knowledge that we'll be sharing, or Dr. Jason will be sharing with you, will help shape the lives of millions of people for years to come and hopefully have a huge impact on you. So here's a little bit about Dr. Jason. I gave him a restriction on this, but I'm going to have him expand in a second. So Dr. Jason Richardson is no stranger to danger or high-pressure situations. He's a world champion and a Pan Am Games gold medalist that takes the extreme lessons learned as a Pro BMX Cyclist and translates them into the psychological principles we all can use for success in business, sport, and in life. I love that. People leave his speaking engagements, trainings inspired and equipped to live happier, play better, and win more. So welcome, Dr. Jason Richardson.
Yay! You did it.
I did it.
I think that bio sounds it's comprehensive, it's concise. That's good.
It's very good. But
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. I was very fortunate enough to meet you, a few weeks back now. And that bio, I feel, could be like we could write a whole book on you, just on a bio. So give us a little more. Let's let our listeners hear a little bit more about you.
A little more. Well, 42 years ago, in the autumn of no, I'm just playing. So, a little more. That's really open. I think. So maybe this is some insight into a little bit more of me. I think a whole book can be written about everyone.
Of course.
In truth. And I suppose that's my deal. So, background, yes, I was a professional BMX racer for 15 years. Was able to win world championships. And my early part of the career, my first world championships as a pro I ever raced, I won it. And then long fast forward or draw that out so that was like 94. I won that world championship. Then in 2007, I won the Pan Am Games. But in the midst of that, I was able to go to school, get an MBA, and then get a doctorate in psychology towards the end of my career. I actually got the doctorate after I'd finished racing, and the whole point was to plug in not only to my world with BMX racers and Olympic level athletes, but to just plug into the world and say, hey, there's a lot of things here that I was doing as a racer, and not just like the success stuff, because man, did I make a lot of mistakes along the way. Growing up in that world and being a professional athlete, you're young, so you're essentially still a kid. I'm 42 now, so I thought I was a grown man at 22 or 25, but looking back, I was a kid, and I'm going through those growing pains in somewhat of a public eye. So there's a lot of richness in that experience, and then to go to school and become a psychologist and then learn the stuff that worked for me, but then more importantly, why stuff didn't work or where I made the mistakes. I basically got the chance to re-engineer my successes and failures. And so to bring that into a company or a corporation or just go speak at a team, I mean, that gives, I'm not even gonna say gives me life, because it's not about me, but it gives that person or that company or that team life. And that's the whole point, because it does begin, in my opinion, with psychology and mindset.
Great. So here's a question. I want to bring you back into your pro BMX days. When you were there and you were thinking about it, or you're going to school thinking about this transition, what was your defining moment where you go, you know what? I want to be a psychologist because I want to maybe help other athletes or other top performers be their best or be better?
So here's the deal. Ugly truth moment. I went to school because my parents told me I had to. That was the family I grew up in.
Okay.
And so I kept going to school because as long as I kept going to school, my parents and other people close to me would not give me grief about racing bicycles for a living. Straight up. So school kept me racing. And then in the process of that, and racing kept me in school. I mean, I did pay for advanced degrees with prize money and my earnings. So that was kind of cool.
Yes.
And was able to make a living and blah, blah, blah. But the defining moment, there was two. February 4th, 2006, I broke my femur. That's the big bone in my right leg. And when I say broke, it was more like shattered, like that.
I don't imagine that
So
pain.
shattered my femur, bone came through my leg. I couldn't imagine it either, which is why I passed out.
Oh God.
I think there was a brief moment where I felt the pain, and that's when they lifted me up on the stretcher to load me into the helicopter, and I could feel my leg jiggle. And I mean jiggle as in like one part felt attached to me and the other part was just like held on only by skin and muscle because the bone was, yeah. So that's first defining moment. And then so after surgery, I still have hardware in my leg. It's a $70,000 leg. After all that stuff, I figured, okay, well, I have my degree and I have an MBA. Maybe I'll go in the family business. My father's a contractor in Vegas. And I was doing some land development stuff and real estate stuff on the side for fun. Maybe I'll do that. I didn't do that. Probably like month 1 or month 2, I was like, okay, that's really not interesting to me. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll invest in a franchise. And so I spent some time doing that. And that was, I was looking at like a shaved ice franchise, a women's fitness franchise, and my favorite, because this is video, right? We're recording this video.
Yeah, baby. Yep.
Okay, they're gonna love this. A tanning salon.
Yeah, you look good tanning. I like that.
Right? Because I know what the tanning population wants. So I was looking at those things, but none of those three things stuck. And more importantly, I would just be buying myself a job.
Okay.
Because usually and there's nothing wrong with franchises. It's great, but you don't start really making money till like the third or fourth one, and then it becomes this management piece and employees and personnel and inventory. And I didn't want to do that. So the thing that got me motivated to get well, though, was racing, because I thought I was done. I was the oldest guy out there, or one of the oldest guys out there when I broke my leg. But the thing that got me healed quicker was the intention of getting on the track again and racing, because I wanted to finish my career on my terms. I didn't want an injury to take me out.
Okay.
And that was just a personal decision. And there's the ego. So that's trigger moment number 1. Number 2, second race back, just happened to be on the plane coming back from a race, sitting next to a couple. The wife was a marriage and family therapist. The husband was a psychologist. They were at some convention. We got to talking. And I had a couple years left on my contract, meaning I could pay for more school.
Yeah.
And I got home and I just told everyone I'm going back to school. They're like, "What? You're going back to school again? Like, where? Come on!" But yeah, and so that was like October of 2006. I broke my leg in February, so that's like what, 9-ish, 10-ish months, anyways. Yeah. And I was in school January 2007. Boom, wow. Just like jumped right in and fast tracked my way through, like, just traveling the world, studying and doing papers and writing and just knocking it out to become Dr. J-Rich.
Yeah, so that
and here we are.
The broken leg, but that plane flight, those few hours or however many hours you were on that plane.
It was an hour and a half. It was an hour and a half, but here's the thing. So I had worked with a sports psychologist my career.
Okay.
Because yeah, I was in shape and I wasn't winning, and I'm like, what the hell? And I knew I was head tripping, and honestly, most people do know when they're head tripping, and even if they don't, there's still something inside of them.
Yeah.
That's probably telling them something's off, even if they don't know they're head tripping. So I knew I was head tripping. So I worked with a sports psychologist, and I liked the process. I liked looking at performance. I liked looking at the thinking. I liked looking at my stinking thinking that was
Okay.
getting me, that was keeping me from the winner's circle, or keeping me not even from winning, but keeping me from just enjoying something that I had always done as a kid.
That's
So
important.
yeah, so I got to talking with them, and they were like, "You'd be good at blah blah blah." I was like, you're. And then my business mind started thinking. I was like, well, no inventory, just me. I could teach, I could speak, I could write, I could see clients, one on one, whatever it is. I'm like, that's actually a pretty good business model for me. Not really knowing,
Yeah.
but yeah, I jumped right in because it suited, and then everything kind of started to work out because I did have a sport background. I did have an MBA. I understood marketing from, being a marketing tool of sorts as
Yes.
a product endorser, sponsored athlete. And I had this whole vantage point that I felt like a lot of psychologists, traditionally trained psychologists wouldn't have. So I was able to hit the market and just kind of hit the ground running.
That's such a cool story. That is a real. I mean, that's an amazing
Thanks.
story. It's neat to look at your past and see where, like, holy cow, pro BMX rider, like world champ, hour and a half broken leg, hour and a half plane flight, life changed, and now he's changing the world in a different way. First, you had people cheering at you, as you're winning gold medals, and now you got people cheering at you because you're changing their lives. I think
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's really cool. And what's your slogan there?
Which one?
Oh, I
Challenge
don't.
perspective, change results.
But also, isn't there a gold medal one somewhere?
Oh,
Or
gold medal mindset.
gold medal? See,
Gold,
that's
yeah, gold medal. Yeah, gold medal mind. That's actually like the talk, right? When I go do speaking, that's
okay.
it's gold medal mindset for championship life. Gold
That's,
medal mindset for championship life. Business, sport, and life. Business, sport, and life.
yeah.
And I'm just hammering those things down. And candidly, Josh, it's actually been hard because a lot of people, right? Mindset. A lot of people are like, no, just talk about work. Just talk about sport performance. Just talk about my kid not listening to me. It's like, business, sport, life. Like, it's very hard to take you out of the equation and your life out of the equation when you're applying it to your work or your sport. And when I say sport, not just NFL and NBA, I mean, your play, the thing you like to do, which could be work or your side hustle or whatever it is, but or maybe it's gamifying your work so that
Yeah.
you can handle it. But my point is, it's very difficult to take you out of what you do. And I think some of us like to put everything in silos
Yes,
and
I
like
see that.
compartmentalize. And there's a time and place for that, but we like to do that. But what's missing is the secret sauce. And the secret sauce is your DNA. Your DNA is the thing that makes it special. Like, learning Tiger Woods' swing is awesome. But if you don't add your DNA to it, it's just going to be you trying to be like
Yeah.
Tiger Woods.
I think I'm getting I'm getting my own session here. I like this.
Boom! That's how we do it.
Yeah. So this is cool. So I want to kind of pull a little more out of you, since you're doing an awesome job here.
Keep pulling.
So I'm a client. We'll pretend for 2 seconds here. What is the process if I want to be a personal client? Like, what kind of process do you bring me through initially, and then like what kind of goals or outcomes, or is it very individualized how you kind of approach each person?
Right. So I have clients all over. I mean, they're all high performers, or would like to be.
Okay.
That's just right from jump. They're all high performers or would like to be. So like limousine company owners, real estate business owners, Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
So surfers. So a lot of people coming to take it to the next level.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
what I do is I take the knife, stick it in, and then start twisting.
Feels good.
Right? Because, well, not necessarily. Well, as a chiropractor, you can understand that, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure you've had people twisted up and contorted, and they're like, and then click, 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 and like,
Of course.
right? So that's the adjustment. But usually, you know, there's pain and there's progress.
Yes.
There's pain and there's progress, and though it's kind of the yin and yang of things, and so we go through pain to find progress.
Yes.
Sometimes with high performers, they don't go through any pain; they're just kind of like there. Hence, like the child star and the person who's talented or maybe didn't always have to work as hard for it. But they'll hit their pain eventually. But everyone has some source of pain, whether it's like a fear or something that happened, and they have something that's not serving them. They have, your brain is always working for you. It's keeping you alive, but your beliefs are not always serving you, right? So working for you is like, I got a job and it pays my bills. Serving you is like, I have this career and it provides me with the resources to do anything I want in life. Get the difference?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So we have these beliefs that work for us, but are they serving you? And so we developed a process to where we take you through and just get it. I mean, and whether it's business, sport, or life, or the whole thing, and we can go micro or macro, and I just take you through painfully all of those things. We trace it back down, like your result, back down to like the real reason why you're not getting what you want. That core belief. Then from there, we build the belief.
Okay.
And that's about taking action. That's about accountability. That's about, it's psychology, it's physiology, and it's social. There's community involved. There's like I said, it's hard to extract the person, right? Your person out of your life.
Yeah.
And so I want to inject all of you into everything you do.
Perfect. You just answered the next question. I was going to say, let's say I'm a professional BMX rider, which I'm not, but let's say I am, and I said, Dr. Jason, I need your help. Do you only focus on sport, or you just said that, right? Like, no, you have to get in and immerse yourself in all of their life, right?
Right. So, and everybody's different, right?
Okay.
Everybody is different. So, after the interview process, people apply to work with me. I only have a few one-on-one clients because I like to be all in with them.
Okay.
And then the other portion of my business is speaking and running my mouth and charging up the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm like Flavor Flav, but with substance.
Got it, man. I love it.
Actually, I'm better than that. But anyway,
yeah, you are.
But he's a good hype man, right? So, but I'm like hype with deep belief stuff. But yeah, so people apply to work with me. I don't take on many clients because I really like to be all in with them. And everyone's different. So they may come in and it's like, yeah, I'm just not performing out there on the track, on the field. Okay, great. What's getting in the way of this? What happened at this race? What happened at this event? Why, what result is it we're not happy with? And so we do start with that person's core competency or reason they come in. But eventually, through the conversation, through the work, then it's like, okay, this is your worldview. This is how your brain is making sense of the world and how you think you fit in it, and probably why you're getting spit out the back in certain areas. Yeah. Because it's funny, like Magic Johnson. Everyone knows who Magic Johnson is.
They should.
Right. Well, they should, but if they don't,
that's all right.
They can Google it, right? But he's a championship basketball player. When I say championship basketball player, like multiple, like probably one of the greatest ever, top 10 basketball players. And what was the difference between his life after retirement versus, I don't know, Latrell Sprewell or Ryan Leaf from football? What's the difference, right? Because they both, right? They had something that was serving them in their sport. Yeah. They had a belief that was serving them in their sport. Yet, for whatever reason, when it came to business and life, not so much.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So they had compartmented, right? But Magic was like, wait, maybe, and I'm not like I talk to magic, but I'm just going off of the evidence, right? There's proof in the world. He's approaching his life and his businesses, all of it, with, I think, the same attitude, the same mindset, the same dedication that he did basketball. He's still smiling. He's still great with the crowd. He's still providing value. He's still working hard to figure it out. Whether it's Starbucks or movie theaters, ownership of other teams, like that's he's applying it.
Yeah. Okay. So he's applying the principles and the things
he's applying. Yeah. He's applying that winner belief from basketball into business, into his life.
Got it.
Versus the guy who's like, I'm just a basketball player.
Okay, I find that's
just
great. So
be careful of that word "just."
Yeah. So you're not.
We can justify anything.
So you weren't just a BMX pro, right? You applied those same principles to where you are today.
Well, so personal story, true transparency. Like I struggled a great portion of because I found success early. Well, I can go crazy deep. Do you want me to go crazy deep?
Well, I mean,
we'll go like somewhat deep.
Can look at just go. If I look at you, I'll cut you off. But
all right, cut me off. Cut me off. So I have this thing, and it's called infinite. It's life's on a continuum, right? And that continuum goes forever. And I talk about it in my book, Infinite Continuum Theory. And so you go through the same cycles at different levels in your life. So when I turned pro, I found success early, and then I struggled. Like when I was an amateur, and I had those years of struggle. So I was going through the same struggle, but I struggled because I didn't accept, all of my athleticism. I didn't accept, I fought some of those things. Like I had trouble like accepting. I was fighting my own beliefs, even though they were positive, because the world was telling me, "Oh, you're too young. You can't have a Range Rover in a house at 21. People look at you weird." You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of like not owning, my power, not owning like whatever it was that got me to the, to the promised land, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I struggled with that for a long time, and then it wasn't until that I realized, wait, like I am an athlete, right? Comma. And in capital letters, not but, and I'm also interested in business, and I'm also interested in and I'm a student. Like I didn't have to be either or. I could be all of those things, especially if I truly were. And I was all of those things. But I struggled because I felt like I had to like choose this very boxed in, rigid path.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. I mean, great insight. That's neat. Again, I'm getting my session here. I appreciate it.
That's I know. Like
I love this.
That's
man.
it. I'm gonna work myself out of a job. People are just gonna listen to this podcast, be like, okay, I got it. We're good.
No, but this is good because I think, the goal of having the Lifestyle Locker is to share you with people, to share our people we're interviewing with the world, because people need people like you involved in their life. So
this is fun.
That's why you're here.
I'm glad to be in the locker. And for the people listening, it doesn't stink in the locker, in the Lifestyle Locker.
No way, baby.
It smells great. Great.
I got my deodorant on. No worries. But so let's jump in. That was good. You didn't take 2 hours to do that. You only took a few minutes, I think. But so let's jump in a little bit. Let's get in I want to get some bullet points in here so we can give the listeners some golden nuggets to actually have to take home. Take your paper out. If you're driving, do not do that. But if you're home and listening, start writing these down. He's going to drop some gold on you here. And he's not giving you his medal, though, but he's going to drop some gold on you.
It's in a shoebox in my closet, by the way. Both of them are. It's hilarious.
All right. Give us 3, Jason. 3 golden nuggets.
So 3 gold nuggets. Okay, number 1, it really does begin with psychology. Your mindset, your brain, your thinking, it begins with that. I mean, literally, your lens, your viewpoint, your vantage point, how you look at something, your biases, all of that, that's all mindset. That's how you think about a situation is going to dictate how you feel, how you act, and ultimately the result you get. So if we can begin, and we can, which is what I do, begin with the psychology, the thinking about that, how you perceive the world, how you perceive yourself in it, then there's massive expansion that takes place. That's number one.
Perfect.
Number two, start yesterday. And this is like, I'm saying this not even for you guys. I'm saying this for me, because this is, I started thinking about this, and I was thinking, man, the whole speaking and getting out there, because I was guilty of it too. Like, I waited to become Dr. Jason. I waited till I finished school. But really, in truth, there's a lot of great people out there doing great work with no letters or titles in front of or in back of their name. And they're great. Am I glad I went to school and was able to re-engineer success and failure? Yes. Could I have started in my own way, within my scope of genius, within my scope of knowledge, doing what I'm doing now? Yes. So I think about that, and when people, because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, I work with a lot of business people, and there's always this fear of getting started, and they're always waiting till the website's done, and they're always waiting till the artwork's done, and they're always waiting and waiting and waiting, and there's a lot of this busy work. Oh, and then I got to get my CRM, and then I got to get, then they have these tools for systems and funnels, and it's like, but have you completed a transaction?
Yeah.
Did you record your first podcast? Did you approach one client and say, "Hey, I see you're dealing with XYZ. I think I have a solution for you." I mean, start yesterday. I can't stress that enough. You have enough in you to start yesterday. Will you make mistakes? Yes. If you're responsible, you will adjust, correct, and move forward. Everyone does it. Get over yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Number three. And I have there's actually, it's like 3.1, 3.2, 3.3.
Good. You're allowed.
And I didn't know if I wanted to go with like I'll call it the gut check. I'll just encompass it right. I'll call it the gut check. And the gut check includes two questions. It includes one question. Is what I want worth how I feel or may feel right now? Because a lot of times people like to avoid pain, myself included. Pain sucks. It hurts.
It does.
However, there is a bit of that is somewhat required as we pass through to progress. So that's the gut check. Is what I want worth how I'm feeling or may feel? Because it may not feel good. Mm-hmm. On your way to getting what you want. It may not. So that's the gut check. The other gut check is, and it's not a question, it's a statement. And I did a Facebook Live about it. There are far more with far less doing a lot more. There are far more people with a lot less than you doing a lot more than you. So they could be in mom's basement. They can be in some hood. They can be in some favela in Brazil, and they are making a play right now. Tony Robbins says it. It's not lack of resources; it's lack of resourcefulness. So I have to give the man credit. That's genius. And then I guess as far as the gut check, take inventory often. And what I mean by that is there's a piece of, what do you have? Where are you? What are you doing? Are you and learning to be satisfied with who you are versus letting the results dictate your mood all the time. Yes, it feels good to win, but hopefully you're more than the win. You kind of have to be, because I damn sure hope you're more than the loss when you lose. So take inventory often. And the reason why I say that is, hey, it's okay to pull the plug. Like, no one's making you run for president. No one's making you be an NFL player. No one's making you quit your job and start a new business. Like, honestly, like, you don't have to do that, right? Because there is stress associated with it. There is energy. There is cost associated with that stuff. So take inventory. If it's not for you, then pull the plug and be happy. I would say be happy either way, but just save yourself. Because a lot of times people get locked into thinking, oh my gosh, it's all about entrepreneurship now. It's all about online business now. I gotta do blah, blah, blah. And so they put themselves through all this heartache because they gotta do, or they gotta keep up, or FOMO, or whatever you want to call it. Take inventory. You might be good with like working in the warehouse and leaving the warehouse job and coming home and kissing your wife and playing with your kids, and that's enough. And if that's enough, God bless you. Seriously.
Wow. That's pretty. Those are some awesome nuggets. I wrote these down too, right? So
dude. So in keeping with hip hop, I don't drop gold nuggets. I drop gold bars, man.
Yeah,
bars.
That was a bar right there, right? There are a lot of them, right? So we got the mindset and psychology, number 1. We got start yesterday. We got the gut checks, right? Is what I want worth what I feel or I may feel today? And also, there are far more people with far less doing a lot more than you can be. And then the last is take inventory of yourself, your wins and your losses, and don't be afraid to pull the plug. Did I kind of summarize that okay?
Yeah. So just to be clear, because I'm a stickler with words, there's a far more.
Yeah.
With a lot less, doing a lot more.
Doing a lot more. Got it.
Not that you can, than you're doing.
Okay.
Right? Because I want to eliminate this grass is greener mindset thing that we all tend to do.
Okay.
Check, right? So checking up is good. Right? When you go to a competition and you're going to run your marathon, it's like, okay, that dude's fast, or that girl's really in shape, or like that's checking up. But when it's like, oh man, he's got the better shoes. She's only like 80 pounds. There's no way I'm going to keep up with her, right? So taking inventory is one thing, comparing is another.
Got it.
And so we want to be very specific, and that's something that I do with my clients.
I can imagine,
corporate otherwise, is like really, really pinpoint and surgically remove words out of their vocabulary that do not work, that do not serve.
Okay. So if you can give listeners one action step, if you say do this or listen to this, or I'm going to tell people about your books, because I downloaded, once I met you, I went right on your website and downloaded the ebook like within 3 seconds. I did it that night after we were hanging out, and I read it not too long after. So besides the obvious right there, because we're going to have to go get these things, these tools that you have, but what action step could someone do today that'll give them a little bit better tomorrow?
Okay.
Simple. Think simple here.
It's simple. No, it is simple. And actually, you're on my mailing list, so you're going to actually get something that speaks to this today, probably at 2 p.m. your time.
Perfect.
So,
I look forward to it.
No, it's good. It's good. But keep it simple. So there is something that you've probably been thinking about doing, or something that you've wanted to do for a long time, whether it's a fitness target, whether it's a business goal, or whatever, a trip, I don't care, whatever it is, but there's something in the back of your head that you've been kind of wanting, that's been gnawing at you. Great. The challenge is to go tell people that you're doing it, and putting a date and attaching a date to when you want to do that.
Got it.
And so, right, being a stickler with words, it's not I'm going to do X. It's I'm running the marathon in July. I'm going to I'm taking a trip to Fiji in 9 months. I will quit my job. No, I'm quitting my job.
Yeah.
By December.
Yeah, I got it.
Tell 3 people and ask them to hold you accountable.
Yeah, so that's really cool, and I'm glad you just gave that action step. That's kind of how I got into doing my marathon the day before Mother's Day. I've wanted to do one so bad that I was online looking like what's close to me, what's available when I'm around. I want to do one, and I didn't even look to see that it was a trail marathon thing, but I just went online, I booked it, and I started telling people. So I'm in. I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah, but you don't want to be a liar.
Nope. But I'm also now it's helped me just rearrange focus in life, period, because I said something and I'm sticking to it. And I mean, I've told you, I think, when we were out in Canada together, but so that's where I am. But that's an awesome action step. I'm gonna do that all the time with everything I do, I think, just because I think that's awesome. So good.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Jason. That's great. So listen, I want to in closing here, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was an amazing interview. I hope everybody that's listening will connect with you one way or another, whether they're hiring you to bring to their corporation, whether they're buying and reading your ebook or whatever it may be. From myself and the Lifestyle Locker, we do appreciate you very much. And for all of those listening, get this. We're going to have all Dr. Jason Richardson's details in the show notes. They will be on our website, lifestylelocker.com. All the ways to connect. We'll have links for everything Dr. Jason. Is there anything you want to, any thoughts you want to leave them with?
Man, no. I think I did pretty decent. So at this point, it'd just be trying too hard. Yeah, it'd just be trying to. That said, though, I have to say this. I do really enjoy speaking and sharing this stuff, and I want that to come across. So if anybody's listening and thinks, man, this guy would be good at my next company retreat, or man, this guy would be good at the next corporate offsite training, I'm in. So drjasonrichardson.com, bring me in. I will light it up.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. So, all right, Lifestyle Locker Radio, until next time, remember, it's your life. You now have the resources to unleash your human potential. Hey, Locker Nation. I hope you enjoyed Dr. Jason Richardson. He dropped some serious gold bars of information. Make sure you use some of them. They can change your life and unleash your human potential. Make sure you connect with Dr. Jason on Instagram, on Facebook, on his website. These will all be in the show notes, and make sure you connect with us too. Facebook.com/Lifestyle Locker, and you can find me personally at Dr. Josh Hand on Instagram. We'll see you for Locker Days on the next episode, where I break down a little bit about what we learned today.